Hello and welcome back. It is me again, and today we are actually this time mentioning pornography from the lens of it being a form of addiction and then some discussion. And today we have the lovely, the difficult, the Bethany. Let's just get straight into the game. I'm not waiting for the music. Sorry, any music fans out there. Well, interesting. Interesting. I am curious. I'll need a lot of help to supply this build, but I want to see if it can work out, because, you know, there are some Bethany runs where you simply don't get any active items. So it is nice to have one nice and early. You know, like Lemon Mishap. I will take that over the Razor, I think. Sorry to any Razor fans. Okay, can I get some health? Please? One of these days it's gonna be the good shop, I'm telling ya. The good shop on floor 1. I should probably use Lemon Mishap whenever it's available. Except for this room, because I want to save it for the boss. Oh! My Wisp is leaking lemon juice! Oh! Okay. Because I want to get my Wisp count up. Also, terrible boss to use this in, but whatever, we're going for it. And it looks like they're peeing. Like the number 1 item, specifically. That's what it reminds me of. Let's grab that before it ends up being over the hole. Okay, no key, I've noticed. So, okay, we have one more chance for a key. That's fine, that's fine. Anyway, we're talking about pornography. The study of prawns today. That's definitely what it is. Yeah. Uh-huh. Use it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Use it and lose it. Let's go. Okay, I haven't actually lost it yet, though. So can I really say that? Is there a heart in here for me to take? Oh, there is. Thank you. Because I am going in here. Please do not hit me. I care about my health. Even more bombs to dodge. Gulp. Okay, that's good to know. A library. Oh boy, that's massive. And extra keys to boot. Oh. I mean, I'll take it, and I'll use it once, even. That's it. I just gotta be careful about that bomb wisp now. Ooh, oh, I should have used it in that room. Oh. Oh well, it's not like Bethany can even pick up soul hearts in a normal way anyway. I have so many keys. So yeah, we're talking about pornography, as awkward as that may be. We're looking at it specifically through the scientific lens today. How does it affect you? What are the peer-reviewed studies on it, and what have they found? I will have you know that it's not... It's, there are some controversies involved. For a few reasons that I will get to later. I'm excited. Ooh, yay! You gotta stop giving me excellent items to use. There have been so many active items. The only passive item I've gotten so far is Jesus Juice, which isn't even that good. Actually, oh, I'm excited. Dang it. I don't want to be excited. Stop. No. Oh, well, there's the bomb wisp on. Excellent, excellent, excellent. You have to stop. This is too much. Oh, I'm excited now. Okay. Once again, I don't actually recall if Eden's Soul gives you items from the current room's pool. I should probably memorize that, but I don't care enough. Just 3 more charges, huh? Oh good, I have bombs. Anyway, scientific research on pornography addiction, often referred to as problematic pornography use, or PPU, or compulsive sexual behavior disorder, CSBD, has expanded in recent years. There, finally. While debates continue regarding its classification, emerging evidence suggests that PPU shares neurobiological and behavioral characteristics with recognized addictions. Let's see. Neurobiological findings. Oh. I'm gonna miss these lemon mishap wisps. That's what the item's called. They're pretty nice. Pretty handy for me. I can use the item. Oh. Oh, no. I can use Eden's Soul here. Ooh. And I will. And I'll absorb both of them. Yeah, that was the right decision. Damage, fire rate, range, and luck. Perfect spread of useful stats, if I do say so myself. Ow! Oh, and now I have vanilla wisps. Oh well. The sacrifices I make for love. Oh, good. We do need to enter. I'm surprised it's not another active item. Hey, that's mine! Is that Eden's Soul as a wisp? I've just realized. I'll take Fruity Plum. It's a pretty good familiar. Follower. Followillier. Oh, another rune. Where are they coming from? It must be the rune-looking trinket I have. Hagalaz and the High Priestess. I wonder where I'll use Hagalaz. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Neuroimaging studies... Ooh, let's check. Cool, okay. Indicate that individuals with PPU exhibit heightened activity in brain regions associated with reward processing, such as the ventral... Okay. Such as the ventral striatum, amygdala, and prefrontal cortex in response to sexual cues. These patterns resemble those observed in substance use disorders and behavioral addictions like gambling. Additionally, alterations in neural connectivity, particularly between the ventral stratum, and prefrontal cortex, have been noted in individuals with CSBD, suggesting impairments in impulse control and decision-making processes. Show yourself. I'm actually gonna handle you like normal. You almost got bodied, my dude. stop it. Oh, he really went for just one more, huh? Absolutely bodied. I've got some pretty good stats right now, if I do say so myself. Is it worth grabbing that sack? Weird thing to say. I know. I'll grab it later if I am desperate for more bombs. I shouldn't be. I have a luck of +1. I didn't think I'd be this desperate for resources. But it is what it is. Let's see. Prevalence and demographics. Hold on. There we are. Good. A study involving 1,022 young adults in Rhode Island, although I wish this gave me a date directly for when this study occurred. I think it is very relevant. Found that 54% reported pornography use, with 6.2% meeting criteria for addiction. Heterosexual cisgender males had significantly higher odds of both use and addiction. Moreover, pornography addiction was associated with increased odds of depression and suicidal ideation. I've got plenty of bombs. Wonderful. Show yourself. Oh yeah. That was good. And with that, I think I'm capped out on fire rate. Wow. Nice. I should have blown one of these guys up. No, I didn't have the bombs. I gotta remind myself about that. Nice. I will see what's in that sack, though. Let's see. Nationally, surveys indicate that approximately 69%, nice, or not nice, given the context, of American men and 40% of women view online pornography annually. Or at least annually is, I think, the implication here. Self-reported addiction rates are higher among men, 11% compared to women, 3%. So, huh? I'm a little confused by that, because does that mean these numbers are coming from doctors instead? I'm not sure. Anyway, let me check the date. I am curious about the date of this. Oh, yay, I get an extra wisp because of Maggie's thingy. Or no, Bethany's thingy, duh. Let's see, this article that I was linked to is from 2013. Okay, so the study that found that 54% young adults in 54% of young adults in Rhode Island reported pornography use. That is from what did I just say, 2013? But yeah. I think that matters for reasons I'll get to later. It's a special surprise. It's not a special surprise at all. It's a normal surprise. Oh. What are we looking at? Speed up. I did need that. Full health. Very kind of you. I'm almost out of my pea wisps. I'm sad. I like it so much, though. Oh, that was close. You almost got my pea wisp. Let's see. classification and diagnostic status. Currently, major diagnostic manuals do not recognize pornography addiction as a distinct disorder. The DSM-5 does not include pornography addiction, only gambling disorder is classified under behavioral addictions. Oh. I maybe shouldn't have done that. Oh well. Oh. Just not my little yellow wisp. Cool. The ICD-11 introduces compulsive sexual behavior disorder, CSBD, under impulse control disorders encompassing... Oh, I almost lost it there. No! Yes, I care much more about that wisp than the angel room. I hope you understand why. Encompassing problematic pornography use but not labeling it as an addiction. Right. Oh, that's okay. I can deal with that. Well, sure. Why not? Ooh, also, where, I guess, if I move in a straight line. Okay, that would have covered both. Good. Excellent, even. And now we use this here. It's okay. Yeah, it's the wisps already kind of do that for me, but whatever, it's fine. I'd rather take something that's okay than a complete mystery. And it does poison, so there is that. You know, the main benefit of getting the Bible is the Bible wisps that do the seraphim shots, if you notice. Oh, well, I got his head. I just gotta collect enough of these shots, really. Wisps, wisps. I know how to speak. I'm definitely not tired right now. I don't think... Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. I don't think, therefore I am not. So the classification of pornography addiction remains contentious with ongoing debates about whether PPU should be considered a behavioral addiction. Compared to other addictions, let's focus now on a similar chart to last time, in all honesty. Well, maybe I should have used the Bible for that. It's fine. Well, there goes my Bible wisp. Don't worry, we'll get you another. Ooh. Do not like. Ooh. Well, doesn't help in this room, but that's okay. It's the spirit that matters. The Holy Spirit. You know? Because it's the Bible. Well, should have used it in there. What can you do? So, we're going to compare a bunch of different addictions. We're going to, well, specifically types of addictions, not specific kinds now. More specifically, we are going to compare pornography use disorder, PPU. I mean, it's not actually the direct acronym that was given earlier, but whatever, it's fine. With substance use disorders and gambling. Looking at those three. Neurobiology. How is that affected by these 3 disorders, or proposed disorders, I should say? PPU, altered reward processing, increased activity in ventral striatum and amygdala. For substance use disorder, we have dopaminergic system involvement. Dopaminergic system involvement, changes in reward circuitry. And with gambling, we have similar neural patterns, heightened response to gambling cues. Again, we're going to see a lot of similarities between pornography and other behavioral addictions, if you will. Withdrawal symptoms in pornography involve primarily psychological, in fact, almost entirely psychological. I'm not aware of non-psychological, I think, withdrawal symptoms. Maybe I could be wrong. Oh, I should mention that, people do cite something like erectile dysfunction as relating to pornography a lot. But I don't believe there's actually any research to suggest that. That's cool. Glad I could get the damage. Let's just go straight in and fly, because I need that advantage. Get him. Good. Got him gone. Nice. Perfect shot. Nice. You gave me a devil deal? Fine. I mean, doesn't really do much for me, does it? Nope. Not interested. Just opening the way early so that I can pick up these hearts and then head over for the knife piece. Anyway, so withdrawal symptoms are psychological in nature for PPU. You have physical and psychological symptoms for substance use disorders. And again, with gambling, we just see psychological issues. I want that, but oh well. Diagnostic recognition, again, well, okay, I'm not sure why ChatGPT included this one as a row, because I already went over it. Pornography is not formally recognized as a form of addiction. The others are. What more is there to say? Treatment approaches. Cognitive behavioral therapy and limited pharmacological options are available for pornography use. And of course, CBT, that is cognitive behavioral therapy, works for substance use and other behavioral addictions as well. Why did you do that? I don't think I was lagging that far behind. Oh, okay, good. I was a bit worried I had overshot that bomb. Nice and straightforward path. Excellent. Oh. I'll keep the full health pill, if you don't mind, if I don't mind. I don't have that much health. I am Bethany, after all. Okay, I could get it, but... get it as in, like, blow up the fire. I was just curious. So yeah, cognitive behavioral therapy does work for all forms of addiction, and then there are some pharmacotherapies for substance abuse, and even gambling, apparently. Specifically, methadone or naltrexone for substance abuse, anyway. Ooh, whoop. Let's get that guy out of here. There we are. I'll use you down here, I think. Not a bad room to use you in. I'm getting a good number of Bible wisps, I think. Lastly, we have prevalence. Again, according to that one 2013, I want to say, survey in Rhode Island, addiction of pornography, specifically, was considered to be in 6.2% of young adults. For substance abuse, it varies a ton based on the substance involved and the population, and with gambling specifically, it's approximately 1% of the general population, which is honestly higher than I thought, and it has me worried. Let's do this. I want your heart. Yes. Excellent. I'm glad I accidentally saved the Bible for that. Key insights. PPU shares... Oh, hold on. There we are. Neural characteristics with other addictions, including altered reward processing and impaired impulse control. No, that was a Bible wisp. I know because I counted butter. No thanks. Despite overlapping features, PPU lacks formal recognition as an addiction in major diagnostic... That was another Bible wisp. Major diagnostic manuals highlighting the need for further research. Cognitive behavioral therapy has... Okay, that was a regular wisp. I think. If it was even me at all. May not have been. Also, I don't care for Bethany's trinket that much. Sorry. Sorry, Bethany. So, cognitive behavioral therapy has shown promise in addressing PPU, but standardized treatment protocols are still under development. Let me tab over. Huh? Oh. Oh, good. Never mind. We're good. We're good. Yeah, don't worry about that. Oh, I will? No, I will not get that. Never mind. So, when... Aha. A while ago, when talking about abortion, I mentioned that I had found a rather educational Substack that covered the topic, and this same person, although they haven't been active in several months at this point... Why did I do that? Oh well. It's fine. It's fine. I'm doing well. I'm doing swell. Although they haven't been active in several months, they do have other very educational and very informative articles on pornography and related, well, statistics mainly, sociological studies. I will link it below, but I will not be using ChatGPT from here on out for this episode. We are past ChatGPT. It is over. And now let's talk about some of the nuances of some of this research. Because, oh, I want that. Have not seen this room layout before. Very neat. So there is, as it turns out, a fair amount of money out there that's being dedicated to research on pornography. Black hole! Hey, bud. I will use you for the wisp. I don't know what the wisp does for me, but I'll take it. There are a variety of anti-porn organizations out there, such as, if you'll... I mean, it's an anti-porn organization, but even so, I hope you'll forgive the name. I believe NoFap is a rather popular one, but the... Oh, man. The fascinating thing about it is that it's not really... A lot of those organizations... Ow. Thanks. Oh, I got that at the beginning of Apollyon's run, that's why it felt familiar. A lot of those organizations actually aren't based on great research. Like, it is clear that pornography overuse can certainly cause problems for people, there is no questioning that. The issue is whether it can be classified as a more general type of addiction, and as it turns out, it maybe shouldn't be. I have sort of, ChatGPT at least, has sort of argued for that case, but now allow me to argue against it. Also, free Bible use and a half. As it turns out, and again, this Nullstack article, this rather exhaustive one, even if it's like a year old, does a wonderful job of walking through all of this. And basically, compared to other existing forms of addiction... Ooh, yay! Okay. Pornography addiction... Oh, man. Okay, that's not that great. Like, it does... Obviously, it is bad for you, but it isn't really addiction level bad, if that makes sense. It shows it has a lot of similarities. It is a behavior, of course, so it's gonna have a ton of similarities to other behavioral addictions, but as it turns out, some of the research at least suggests that you can actually, your brain, your neural pathways, actually recover from pornography or other sexual related addictions fairly quickly, like within a matter of days. You can, of course, still be tempted back into it after that point, but as far as neuroplasticity goes, that's actually not really an issue at all. If you can go more than like 4 or 5 days, you're good. Your brain is able to recover its architecture, if you will, even though temptation may still be there. Ooh, yes, cancer. Yes, cancer. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that was close. Oh, that was close. I'm not happy about that jawbone I got, but at this point I think the build is good enough to win. So who am I to complain? I am me to complain. That is who I am. My wisp. I wanted to squish you. I'm not gonna use it. Not yet. Not yet. Do I use it in Mom's foot or Mom's heart? That's the real question. I will go to the bed very quickly, I hope you don't mind. Anyway, let me read this paragraph from the article from the Nullstack, linked below again. This is at the end of the section on pornography addiction itself and the ephemeral nature of addiction. Based on the evidence presented, I argue, I as in the Nullstack author again, argue that pornography addiction is not a valid construct and instead compulsive pornography use, which is predicted by many psychological and demographic variables, should be used instead. Oh, cool. Some individuals certainly have an issue with pornography, but whether pornography is causally associated with these issues seems to be confounded by religion, moral issues, and the lack of causal and consistent relationships demonstrated in other works. Yes, so this brings up another big point, that there are a lot of confounding factors. There are a lot of variables involved in terms of why addiction ends up being affecting people differently, basically. And as it turns out, your moral opinion on pornography matters a lot. Get poisoned? Nice. If you preemptively, that's a weird way to put it, but if you believe pornography to be morally bad when you view it, as it turns out, you're a lot more likely to develop an addiction, weirdly enough. It's sort of... I mean, I don't actually have the numbers in front of me for that. But I believe it was elsewhere in this same article. Don't quote me on that. Okay, maybe quote me on that, because I do remember reading it. But it's a very fascinating result, and it sort of reminds me of something like Wendigo psychosis. If you aren't aware, the Wendigo, Oh, okay, well there goes my Angel Room chance, but it's fine, I don't need it. The Wendigo is, of course, a monster of... I forget which groups, but it's like the Anishinaabe? And Algonquian, maybe? Something like that. Please forgive me if I'm incorrect with that. Basically, there are a few Native American tribes that believe in this Wendigo monster, and the Wendigo is basically involved with cannibalism, the spirit of cannibalism, sort of, where an individual, may be overcome by a spirit of cannibalism, that is the Wendigo, and resort to cannibalism, which is generally seen as one of the ultimate evils of their society. Sure. And they... like, this has been studied psychologically. This isn't really seen... Oh man, I didn't want that rotten heart. This isn't really seen in other cultures. I mean, there are certainly cultures that very casually have practiced cannibalism, and they've had no issues with it, of course. But it's mainly in these cultures that have very explicit... Oh, good, that should have gotten rid of that rotten heart. Have these very explicit stories and fears about cannibalism and what it can do to you, where you actually see the worst sort of response, physiological, psychological response to an individual acting that out, to an individual who cannibalizes. They genuinely seem to believe that they're turning into a monster. Meanwhile, again, it doesn't happen to people of other cultural backgrounds. Certainly, cannibalism is still very wrong in a lot of cultures, but if you... there are examples of American cannibals, a few of them, as with, you know, lots of other criminals, too. And they didn't believe themselves to be monsters. I mean, they were narcissistic serial killers at times, but and you could argue that they acted like monsters, but they certainly did not believe that they were literally turning into a monster. It's very fascinating. So, my point is that pornography use, pornography addiction specifically, actually seems to be of a similar vein, where, yep, okay, there he goes, where it is only people that believe beforehand that pornography is something very moral, very deeply rooted morally and ethically, where you see the, generally, not always, worse cases of addiction. It's something about knowing what you're doing is wrong that pushes you to do it more. The shame seems to add to the feedback loop somehow, although it's not clear, at least to me right now, how. But anyway, I do, again, highly recommend, like, if you are more interested in the subject, I think this article, this Null, the user is Nullsci, their Substack, provides a very, very good overview of it. And in a different article, they also highlight a few cases where both individuals who are casually commenting, as well as other research papers, have seemingly accidentally misrepresented some of the statistics on pornography and gender more generally. But yeah, so it's like, again, totally get that pornography can certainly be extremely disruptive to your life for some individuals, but the fascinating thing to me is that it's not that objective. It's not that objectively bad. It is highly subjectively dependent how bad it is for you, exactly. Which is fascinating. Now, of course, I am not taking this time to comment or express my personal ideas or beliefs on the nature of pornography or its usage. I certainly have some of those beliefs, but this is just about the physiological reactions, of course. And how it is not really, like, it is, to put it loosely, a very shallow form of a behavioral addiction, which is ultimately why that, and the fact that, similar to what I found when researching abortion, there are a lot of the statistics for this end up coming from conservative groups or are funded by conservative organizations, and generally a lot of their science and statistics can be sloppy. Actually, I shouldn't say even conservative, necessarily. The real finger-pointing here is for more evangelical-funded organizations, because, and again, it would be wrong to lay the blame on conservatives as in general, but there are quite a few... Uh-oh. I just wanted one more charge. There are quite a few organizations out there that are, you know, evangelical Christian-based organizations. Oh no. Where, actually, I don't know what this is gonna do to Mother. It wouldn't kill me like Satan does, but just in case, let me... Oh, it's gonna do it every time? Okay. Let me stock up on wisps. So, what was the last point I was making? It sounded pretty good. Ooh. Just absorbed all the shots for me. Thank you so much. But yeah, it's a, all things considered... Oh, that's right. I was talking about how specifically I was talking about how there are a number of evangelical organizations that seem to be named very intentionally to mimic names of official national scientific or statistical foundations. in order to seem credible without necessarily being credible. And I'm going to be honest with you, I do not see how that is anything remote to being Christ-like. Picking a name where you benefit from the credibility of others. And that's to put it lightly. Arguably, without much argument even, without hopefully much persuasion even, you can see how that is intentionally manipulative. Not just that it could be bad, but that is almost certainly trying to be bad. Trying to take credibility that they don't deserve. I finally got hit. I'll just get hit a few more times, and then call it there. But, again, so a lot of anti-porn organizations will offer a lot of scientific, quote-unquote, evidence. A lot of it is pretty sloppy. I still have to warn you about that. What I can say is that, once more, it can obviously be bad. It can possibly be even addiction bad. Oh, revelation! Amazing item. But, again, as far as addictions go, the science seems to suggest that you can bounce back from it pretty easily compared to most anything else, even compared to gambling. Gambling is a much harder addiction to break out of, but ultimately, I guess what matters most for neuroplasticity and being able to break out of addictions is when these addictions form, because if you start gambling at a young age, like a lot of gambling companies are actively trying to do in the United States, introduce gambling to teenagers at the moment through some very nefarious overstate internet laws, kind of. That's a very abstract way of putting it, but like if your brain is formed by addictions at an early age, it's going to be much harder to break out of it later on in life, and so I'm sure pornography has a similar effect, which hopefully actually might be a good thing, because although I didn't see any statistics of it here today, from personal experience, almost every guy that I have ever spoken to that is around my age has almost universally said that they discovered pornography around the age of 11. As in, like, the ages of 10 to 12. It was very specifically that age range. Now, with children being exposed to the internet and being possibly given free reign over the internet at earlier and earlier ages, I expect that number to have dropped already, but it should level off. It's not going to go down to 0 years old. But I'm saying that's a good thing, because if we're looking at supposed porn addiction and how it affects the brain, if it already roots itself in the vast majority of men at a very young age, and yet it is still something that neurologically you can break out of in a few days' time, then that's really good news. It's not that serious. Even, like, maybe it could be worse if you're exposed even earlier, but as it currently stands, that's still pretty good evidence that this is a very weak form of addiction neurologically. And again, just talking about in measured terms of like how it restructures your brain, you can of course still experience any behavioral addiction with pornography just as you can almost anything else, and experience like highs and lows and withdrawals and stuff like that. But again, as far as how it actually reshapes your brain, doesn't really. Not much. And that's a great thing, but there are a number of groups out there that will say that, no, it radically reshapes your brain and can do all sorts of harm to you, but then you dig deep into their research and you find that it is not sound. And that is concerning, but it is par for the course when it comes to evangelical funded research. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. You know, at least in the case of pornography, I think it really is coming from a good place and is not political in nature. So I guess there's that silver lining. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. Oh, I hope you learned something today. I do seriously recommend checking out this article that once more I will have linked in the description. Not article, Substack blog post. It is very long and very thorough and very good too. I do recommend it. Like seriously. Anyway, with completing Bethany, there are exactly 17 more episodes that need to be done in this season. And I know because of how I've structured things. Starting next episode, there will be one completion mark remaining for all 17 normal characters. And we will start with still more mother kills, but the last 4 mother kills, the 4 characters that have already beaten the beast. And these will be our last times playing with them. Anyway, that was a weird part of the sentence to put in anyway. But anyway, thank you again for watching. Hope to see you tomorrow. Take care.